There's one more thing you need to know before you step up to help your child, and that's this. What exactly do you want for your child? What does good reading instruction actually look like?
Let's do the next letter, Draven. You got to tell me the middle letter.
We found a good example in Portland, Oregon.
Z. What sound does Z make?
Meet Ms. Darby. She's a kindergarten teacher here at Metzger Elementary.
So we have G-O-Z.
Kindergarten is a critical time for developing early reading skills, sometimes by using nonsense words.
If you changed the last letter, how could you turn it into a real word?
A T, got.
One of the hard parts about teaching kindergarten is that kids come in at all different levels. Metzger handles that by assessing each student on a regular basis.
The name of this letter is Q. Say the name with me. Ready? Q. What is the name of this letter?
Some kids are already at risk. Kids who don't know their letters, have trouble with rhyming, or who may speak a language other than English. They get an extra dose of small group instruction every day.
Everyone find the letter X?
The instruction is very explicit. Ms. Retzlaff helps the kids break the 26-letter code of our alphabet by being very clear with them about what each letter looks and sounds like.
And I'm going to go left around the queen and way down her staff. Now you guys are going to trace the letter Q.
So when you're trying to figure out if a school is doing a good job, here are 2 questions to start with. 1, do they assess all students regularly? And 2, is the instruction explicit? In 1st grade, Metzger continues to teach the 5 elements of good reading instruction. They teach phonemic awareness, helping children understand that the language we speak is made up of individual sounds.
Lock.
They teach phonics, the concept that letters represent sounds.
Say it fast. Chirped.
They teach fluency, how to read smoothly and with expression. They teach vocabulary, and they teach comprehension, the ability to understand and interpret what you read.
Brooke, what else do you know about Martin Luther King Jr.?
He was a minister.
These are all skills that parents, with practice, can reinforce at home.
What's this word?
So.
At Metzger, the first job is to divide the kids into flexible groups based on their reading level. That way, they're challenged and also achieve some success every day. Mrs. Pulver's students are working to catch up with their 1st grade peers.
Marisa, what does fond mean?
It means you really like something a lot.
For kids who struggle even in Ms. Pulver's group, teacher assistant Marilyn Peterson uses a much more basic curriculum with more opportunities to practice basic skills.
Kite, hope, hop.
Start all over.
Kite, hop, hope, kit.
Perfect. All right.
For kids who are behind, like J.T. Richardson, Metzger throws in an extra dose of reading with one-on-one tutoring, while the rest of the class works on science or social studies. J.T. gets to review the lesson for the day. This book is at a good level for J.T., so the more he practices, the more comfortable he gets. Being able to read fluidly and automatically is critical to comprehension.
Ready, set, go.
Dina said, let's bake cupcakes. Jack said, I hate to bake. Have you ever baked cupcakes? Jack asked Fran. And Granddad, can you help us?
Wow. Oh my gosh, and you got in the word bake right at the time. Wow. 15 more words. High five. High five. On the side. Down low. Way to go. JT.
JT charts his progress every day. But while they continue to give him positive feedback, his teachers are concerned.
Things are going. He's a concern because there's a marginal growth, but it's just totally not consistent. Okay.
Every 3 months, Metzger's school district comes in to do its own assessment of each child. That's in addition to the weekly or bi-weekly assessments that the school does.
Built.
JT is a student that I would be concerned about. It's the end of 1st grade. He still needs to sound all of his words out. He has a few words memorized, the basic sight words, but he still has a ways to go there.
We are finished. Thank you very much.
Dr. Roland Good of the University of Oregon worked to develop the assessment that Metzger uses.
His progress is telling us that we have not yet found the level of support that he needs. And the child is always right. So if the child is telling you, I'm not getting enough support, they're right. And then we need to find a way to provide more support to him.
At Metzger, they use flexible grouping, small groups, a variety of research-based teaching methods, a variety of interventions for struggling readers, and regular, ongoing assessment. But what happens when you've tried all that? What happens to a kid like JT? When the teacher's assessment over time shows that a child is not responding to intervention, the school has a legal obligation to consider testing by a professional team to figure out what's going on, why a child isn't learning to read.
Do you have any questions about what I've just talked to you about?
As a parent, you have several options for testing. You can ask that the school perform the tests. You can pay to have it done privately. But one thing is constant. You have to educate yourself about the process. Jennifer Simpson brought in a parent advocate to help her understand.
I found out that I could get someone to help me decipher what the heck they were talking about. Because when they brought in, they were doing this test, and I had no clue what these tests actually said.
Diane Chesley is a parent advocate for the Learning Disabilities Association. She made a real difference in Jennifer's discussions with Emily Ann's school. A lot of parents, however, aren't able to find such support. That's one reason informing yourself is so important. JT's mother, Jennifer Richardson, is on her own. She meets with the Metzger team to hear JT's results.
In JT's case, I mean, he got really nice scores, solid average scores. Yet we see a student that is struggling. His data that we've collected during the year indicates that he is struggling.
Together, the team decides that the testing they've done isn't comprehensive enough. His test results haven't yet pinpointed the source of the problem, why JT continues to struggle with reading.
He's had really good instruction and really intensive intervention, and he hasn't responded to that.
If your child goes through a round of testing and the school doesn't see a problem, you have the right to ask for further testing. If your child isn't learning how to read, the school needs to try something different. Don't accept explanations like, he's lazy, she'll catch on eventually, or it's just a developmental delay.
It's not what are the reasons why we can't do it, but what more could we do? The truth is, we have the knowledge, we have the skills, we have the intervention to teach these skills to an extremely broad range of children. And we should not accept a reason why we are not teaching them. We should make sure that we teach them.